Alright, it's finally stopped raining enough to look at this again. Today we've got to get a little bit more air out of the brake lines. And thanks to KLR Auto, who sponsored me with a brake booster and brake master, that solved a large portion of my problems. But now I've just got to get more skillful at brake bleeding. So that's what we're going to do today. So if you're looking for a brake master or a brake booster, you can get hold of them from KLR Auto. There's a link below, or a couple of links. If you follow them, it lets KLR know I sent you, and it helps me out as well. I do need to check that I don't have a brake line leak somewhere further down. So we don't appear to be losing fluid, but I will be topping that up again. And we're going to bleed things all over again. Okay, so we've rearranged things so we're under cover a little bit more now. We're going to top this reservoir up. Now, I did look over my old videos, and I'm pretty sure I put more fluid in here than this when I originally filled it up. There is a potential I'm losing a little bit of fluid somewhere. Now, my mechanic did replace a brake line for me, and I could also, I might have another brake line gone, or I might also have a brake nipple that's not done up tight enough. So we'll get under there and inspect them in a minute. Now, because I'm doing this one person today, we're going to just sit that over there to stop junk and water getting in. And it is a bit of a wet day, so there is a chance that rain might blow in. So we're just going to sit that on top, and we're going to get a vacuum bleeder going. Now, there are two other videos I've done on this. One where I did the master cylinder, and one I've done the booster. Those links will also be below. This is a little clip that clips onto the brake bleeder nipple. And this is like a Venturi system. You blow air over a nozzle, it creates a vacuum, sucks your fluid through. Kind of handy when you're just one person like me. And there's an air line hanging down here that will hook up to that. Crucially, if you buy one of these, they don't come with a fitting. You'll need to supply one of those. Now, I'm going to switch over to a GoPro in a minute because it's a bit more, it will handle exposure to brake fluid just a little bit better than the many $1,000 phone that I'm using right now. I also have a 10mm long socket because I can't get a brake line spanner into some of these bleed nipples. So yeah, let's crawl under and swear at this thing a bit more. I have multiple sclerosis, and one of the side effects of that is when I lay on my back, for some reason very specifically under a vehicle, I get wild head spins. It's usually why I need help doing this. It's also worth noting I don't really enjoy doing mechanics. This is a survival skill for me, and it's something I just need to know how to do. Alright, now starting from the longest line first, which is this one here, and we'll do that one there as well. We need to check for leaks. Now, on visual inspection, it appears that neither of the intermediate, or the rear axle, because there are 3 axles, neither of these appear to be leaking. And 10mm is not quite the right size. I have to get up again. Now, the bit that kills me is getting up and getting down all the time. What's this one? Too big? I brought a 12 and a 13. 12 feels right. Maybe 11 might have been right. It's probably an imperial size. Now, crack this open. Okay. Now, what was mentioned to me on my last video is maybe I had the nipples open too much and it was sucking air in behind them. So we'll pop this over and try and pull a bit of fluid through this way. Alright, so let's see if we can get anything through this way. Let's have a look. Now we'll close that off a bit. We've got a little bit through. I don't know if there's air in that or not. It's hard to tell with this. I dragged a bit of fluid through, and I used this thing sort of as a bit of a spanner to gently close that, and I'm tightening it up with this. I am going to come back under with an 11mm socket because that doesn't feel quite right. Now, I pulled a bit of fluid through. I'm going to get up and top up the reservoir again. and I'm not pulling too much through. I don't want to suck air in from the top again. This did feel a bit lumpy, like it was pulling a bit of air through, but we're just going to go around all 6 and suck some more air through and see what happens. Alright, we've moved over to the other side. We're going to crack this one open just a bit and whack our bleeder on, and got the neighbour up the top, topping things up. So now we want to find, we're going to do this. Alright, we're going to just turn that way just to finger tight it. Then we're going to tighten it up again. Alright, in righty-tighty mode. Alright. Let's pop up the top here, see how much we pulled through. Not much through, but we'll top it up again. And I think I've got my neighbour coming over to help me out too, so we've got, yeah, a bit like camping with Steve, we've got a crazy neighbour as well. So we managed to find a pair of legs to hang out from underneath the Rover here to do the intermediate. I'm going to sit up the top here and check on fluid levels while we pull some more fluid through. That's the second longest line, so we need to drag a whole heap through.
Okay, so you want me to keep going?
Yeah, just drag a heap through because I don't want to have to do it a second time.
No, you got a point. Put the nipple back on.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, but it is coming down very slowly. That's good.
Yep.
Oh, that's much firmer. That's way firmer than it was. Down in the depths of the engine bay somewhere. I think I can poke a camera through.
Nope, must be the wrong way.
It's in righty-tighty mode, not lefty-loosey.
Okay, so we go that way.
Alright, now that's a nice solid pedal now. Okay, we'll start it up and we'll see if it drops. Let's find our keys here. Let it run till we get vacuum. It drops a bit, let's pump it. We are ever so slowly still dropping to the floor, although not all the way to the floor, it stops there. That stops. It is an improvement. I wonder if we've got it, or if we've got a like swelling hose somewhere. We'll take it for a run and see how it behaves, I guess. If I pump that up and I wait, which would be, say if I'm driving and I'm waiting for vacuum, we'll run this a bit quicker. There is a vacuum reservoir that needs to build up some vacuum. Now if we go stop in a hurry, that's going to sink like that. But I guess we need to see if it actually stops. Something not right, but you've got to pump it for the second time to get it to stop properly. So I'm not sure if there's an adjustment somewhere, but I think we've got the lines bled. I'm going to park this up and do some more homework. Now, when we're parked and we've got all the vacuum out of the booster, we can pump it and it stays solid right there and it doesn't sink. It stays there continuously. This makes me think we probably don't have air in the lines. Maybe we've got a vacuum leak somewhere. It could be this is a vacuum operated actuator. If I block off the line to that, maybe I'm getting a bit of vacuum leak in around the center diff lock. So we'll try that next. Okay, so I replaced all the brake lines in the previous video. This line here goes all the way into that valve and then goes down to the center diff lock actuator. This is a little bit perished here. I'm thinking about chopping this and replacing it anyway. I have some vinyl hose. I might make a little nipple that I can plug with hot glue and shove that over that hole first and see if things change. All right, we'll take our knife here. This I'm pretty sure is Teflon like. Well, there's a bit of vacuum in there, so we're probably not losing vacuum, but we're going to chop this off and plug it anyway and see if that's the problem. All right, so we've chopped this hose off and we made ourselves a little temporary plug which fits over here. It is suspiciously loose, but this should tell us if we've got a vacuum leak in here or not. All right, we're gonna pump our pedal up. We don't really have to pump it up anymore. It stays solid now, so that's good. See how we go. Oh, that's different. That's very different. I'll leave it sit for a moment and then give it one push. We'll let it build some vacuum up as if we're driving. Go, okay, emergency stop. That does go down. It feels very different. I might take it for another lap around the block. Alright. Yep, that stops better. Okay, maybe we have, it's a tiny bit spongy, but maybe we have a problem with the center diff lock actuator. Interesting. Alright. Alright. Take this off. There's a fair bit of vacuum in there. So I wonder if this line might have been the problem. We'll find out. Make sure that one goes on properly. There was a lot more vacuum sucking back into the system when I pulled that off. Obviously because there's a longer line in here and stuff, but maybe it is my center diff lock actuator that's leaking. They're a bit more fun to find. Alright, so the conclusion is I'm going to leave this in the glove box for now, just in case I need it in the field. And I'm going to try and invest in another diff lock actuator. It could also be, it could very easily be the valve here as well. So I'm not sure what's going on with that. Maybe that valve's a bit knackered too. Alright, so we have still, from when we started this, improved the brakes considerably. When I started the first of these 3 videos, we had no brakes whatsoever. I did a session where I winched some tree branches off some friends' front yards with this PTO winch. Thank you, Plovers, for your input. And I had my foot on the brake quite firmly. After that session, the brakes didn't work very well. I figured I'd probably blown the brake master. So KLR kindly sent me another one. And after fitting that, I still had problems, so they offered to send me the booster as well, which I gracefully accepted. Great job, and definitely hit those guys up if you need those parts. Now, that has given me brakes back, but I've still got a few things to fix apparently. I don't know if it's a vacuum problem with the center diff lock, or it could be a bunch of other things. I probably do need to go inside. I'm making the wildlife angry at the moment, but we will do some more homework and we will get back to you when we find out what the actual problem is. Okay, so I feel like I've exhausted my abilities with this. The next thing I guess to check is going to be flexible lines and also brake calipers. I think some of my problem might be a stuck brake caliper. Given that that's something we've never done on this, we've never changed the brake pad since we got it. I have stuck my fingers in there. The brake pads feel like they're quite thick. I don't think I've worn one out, but I do think that the calipers are not sliding on the pins properly. So I have actually got a professional mechanic. I've booked this in to check them out, so that'll be the next thing I check. I'm fairly confident we've got rid of all the air in the lines. The brake booster and the brake master we're pretty sure are good. I bench bled the master in between these videos. That's part of why we re-bled things again. Yeah, I could keep doing the same thing over and over again and get the same results. So we're going to move on to the next thing. Hopefully we work this out, but hopefully this was a useful video on letting you know how we do the brake bleeding things. And maybe some of you might spot some problems or errors and get in the comments and let me know. So links to bits and pieces for KLR Auto, they're below as well. If you use those links, they'll let them know we sent you. Helps everybody out. So anyway, we'll catch up in another video, hopefully when we find out what's wrong with the brakes.